A huge traffic jam in the Metro East now nearly cleaned up. We are live at the scene of this tanker crash. Alyssa Reitmeyer has the latest on how it's impacting your commute. Plus 100 people forced out of their homes, all thanks to a gas line rupture. Authorities say the threat is over. We'll have the latest out of Pike County coming up.
Gorgeous sunshine today, but sloppy weather moves in for your weekend. I'm tracking when rain might change over to snow in your forewarned forecast.
Live from KMOV, this is News 4 at noon.
All lanes of I-64 are back open after this overturned tanker shut down the interstate during the morning commute. The tanker was full of fuel and it slowed down drivers on I-64 West for at least 10 hours. Our Alyssa Reitmeyer was part of our team traffic coverage on the incident throughout News 4 this morning. She joins us live now with the Bommarito Street Fleet. So Alyssa, how is it going out there? New at noon, we are getting an aerial view of the gas line rupture in Pike County. We first told you about this last night at 10 o'clock. Folks from 100 homes in that area were evacuated overnight. Now they are allowed to go back home. This rupture happened near Bowling Green, that is just about a mile west on Highway 61 off of Highway U. This was the scene last night. Tallgrass Energy is the company that owns the pipeline. They are investigating what happened, but in the meantime, they say the area is safe and there is no longer a threat to the people who live there. Back here in the city of St. Louis, we have an update on all that construction happening downtown. Today, the south portion of Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard will reopen to traffic. That is as construction on the north side gets ready to begin. So starting today, you will be able to access the riverfront from Choteau to the grand staircase of the arch. This is all part of the larger redevelopment of the riverfront.
That road has been elevated 2.5 feet, so it should reduce flooding by about 60%, so people can enjoy the river more of the year than before. And there will be a dedicated walking and biking path in addition to the street.
Construction on the north end will begin next week. That entire road will be done in October. Switching gears now on a Friday, many of you are wondering about that weekend's weather. That's why we have Megan Danahay here. So Megan, what can we expect?
Oh, what can we expect? So much coming this weekend.
A little of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Very busy weekend for you guys in the Weather Center. Thank you, Megan. New at noon, take a look at these surveillance pictures. St. Louis police are looking for these two men. They are wanted in connection to a burglary in South City. There's also a woman seen in these photos. She is wanted for using the victim's stolen credit card at a 7-Eleven. Police say on January 6th, the two guys broke into a home on Minnesota, all while a woman was asleep inside. They allegedly stole 2 cell phones, jewelry, keys, and credit cards. An update now to a shooting investigation we first brought you last night at 10 o'clock. A teenager is recovering after being shot in the arm. It happened near Chaucer Avenue in Vernon and Breckenridge Hills. Police tell us it started with a fight, then someone opened fire. A canine unit was brought in to look for the gunman. So far, police have made no arrest. Only on News 4, the top cop in Beverly Hills has his car set on fire right outside the police station. Happened a couple weeks ago. The car was in a parking spot reserved for Beverly Hills police. We did speak with the chief. He declined to go on camera. Instead, he says no one was injured and the car will be replaced. The case is now in the hands of the St. Louis County Bomb and Arson Unit. A suspected arsonist is accused of lunging at a police officer with a knife. This all playing out in Winfield. We have made a map to show you exactly where that is. When police got on the scene, they say 19-year-old Cheyenne Kolwichik was setting a fire inside the house. As officers tried to put out the fire, they say she swung a knife at them, then said, quote, "We are all going to meet God." Officers tased her, then they were able to put out that fire. No one was seriously hurt.
2 guys were walking down the street and pulled a gun out on them.
News 4 tracking crime. St. Louis police are looking for suspects wanted in a string of armed robberies. Go ahead, take a look at this map. These are all happening all over North St. Louis. Their latest target was actually a group going to church. Police say the alleged criminals were busy over 9 days. 7 people were robbed at gunpoint. 5 of those victims are women. So far, 3 men have been arrested for the crimes, but police believe there may be more suspects.
It's evidence to us that people don't care anymore. They're going to take what they want and use guns to get it, and it's an epidemic in our city that we have to put a stop to.
Police are now trying to identify anyone else involved in this crime spree. We will let you know when there are more arrests made. One of the country's most prestigious universities is trying to stop sexual assaults on its campus. Dartmouth officials say they will ban hard alcohol. Then they will require students to go through a sexual violence prevention program. Jerika Duncan reports from New Hanover, New Jersey.
Dartmouth College.
Coming up on News 4 at noon, keeping track of your calories and your cash could be tougher than you would think this weekend. We'll explain why coming up at 12:15. But first, area first responders are getting into the ring tonight for the annual Guns and Hoses event. There is still time to get your tickets. Those details are after the break.
You're watching News 4, watching out for you.
Police, firefighters, and other first responders will lace them up tonight. The bell rings at 7 o'clock on the 28th annual Guns and Hoses event at Scott Trade Center. You can catch 16 three-round bouts this year, and the best part, the money benefits Backstoppers, which helps families of those who've died in the line of duty. News 4's Jasmine Huda will serve as a guest announcer. There are still plenty of tickets available if you want to go tonight. To get a pair, just go to our website, kmov.com. And hey, good news for all of you shoppers out there. Some of you are probably watching. More than a dozen new stores are headed to St. Louis area malls. According to the St. Louis Business Journal, CBL and Associates will add 15 stores. The Chesterfield Mall will be the biggest recipient with 6 new additions. That includes the newly opened Lindbergh store. The other 8 stores will be divided among 4 shopping centers. They are St. Clair Square, West County, South County, and Mid Rivers Mall. Still to come on News 4 at noon, we are taking a sneak peek at this year's Super Bowl ads. News 4's This Morning Steve Harris has a look at what you'll see Sunday coming up after the break.
You're watching News 4, watching out for you.
What is Super Bowl Sunday without food and lots of it? In fact, outside of Thanksgiving, Sunday is America's biggest eating holiday. The average person will run through a whopping 2,400 calories, and that may have something to do with the 1 billion wings that will be eaten this weekend. It could also have something to do with the 11 million pounds of potato chips. And you won't be the only one feeling the after effects. Antacid sales actually increased by 20% the day after the big game. Now, they make us laugh, cringe, and cry all in the name of product sales. We are talking about the multi-million-dollar Super Bowl ads. Steve Harris has a look at what we can expect this Sunday.
So Budweiser changing to snow in your hour-by-hour forecast.
But first, let's take a look at the fun fact. On this day in 1969, the Beatles gave their last public performance. It was on the roof of Apple Studios. So here's our question. Can you guess what movie that performance appeared? That answer coming up a little later, only on News 4 at noon.
And Steve and I worked really hard on the forecast yesterday. But since yesterday, the models have come in a little bit warmer and a little bit later with the changeover, which means we wouldn't see as much accumulation.
Okay.
So we're going to be fine-tuning that as we go through the afternoon. Again, Steve and I are working really hard on the forecast. You need to watch it 5 and 6 for updated information.
And all weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, good job. We will see what happens. We'll be right back. Actually, we will be right back after we tell you about the fun fact. Here it is one more time. On this day in 1969, the Beatles gave their last public performance on the roof of Apple Studios. So here's our question. Can you guess what movie the performance appeared? We have that answer next, only on News 4 at noon. Time now to answer the fun fact.
I love the Beatles. On this day in 1969, the Beatles gave their last public performance on the roof of Apple Studios. Can you guess what movie the performance appeared in?
The answer, Let It Be.
I love the Beatles, but I didn't know there was a movie.
But something we can't let be this weekend is the forecast, because you said it is going to be a mess on Sunday.
I think Sunday is the problem day. Saturday, mostly a little bit of rain and some drizzle, but Sunday morning, wet. Sunday afternoon, slushy. By Sunday night, could be a little bit icy in spots. A lot to work on. We'll see you at 5 with the latest.
Have a good afternoon.